The other morning I woke up and looked in the mirror and thought, you've become a frump. It wasn't like I didn't know it was coming. I'd had those fat and ugly feelings, but it was the day of the great awakening when I decided I really need to do something about this. Hi, I'm Myrna. Thanks for joining me in my studio. I'll show you what I've been sewing, one thing that I've sewn, before I give you the introduction, just in case you decide that girl's real boring and you want to move on. I won't bore you with the details of my life first. Last week, I had a friend here and we sewed for 3.5 days in the studio. And one of the things that I made is this lovely top. I hadn't sewn in a really long time, in such a long time that a lot of my pattern collection is out of print. This top is View A from Butterick 5786, which you can tell it is not at all. I cut it on fold and then I eliminated the buttons and the collar and changed the collar line and lengthened the sleeves and added the cuffs. I tend to do a lot of that, pattern hacking and changing things. Originally, I'd started out to sew this top at that length, so this neckline at that length with these sleeves. And I don't know where my brain was, but I cut out a size that was way too big. And because of the width of that collar, I couldn't just take the shoulders in. I needed the width through the bust, but I really didn't need it in the shoulders because I'm in definite inverted triangle and quite narrow up here. What happened is I ended up taking the other pattern pieces, recutting what I could because I had a lot of fabric, starting over basically, and ended up with that top. It's cut on the bias, so it flows really lovely and I quite enjoyed it. When I said I hadn't sewn in a long time, what I meant is I haven't sewn garments in a long time. I started sewing in my first year of high school. I sat down at the sewing machine, I fell in love, and I have thoroughly enjoyed fabric since, with the odd little blip, because those are normal. I started out by, just noticed my picture's all screwed up. I started out by sewing clothes and went through the whole thing of everything from lingerie to outerwear, knits, wovens, tailoring, jeans, everything, fitting, and really enjoyed that. And then life did its detour thing and I moved into other careers in textiles, of which my last was making contemporary abstract paintings out of fabric. It's usually the best way to describe it, but I'll pop a picture in for you. They are mounted on gallery framed canvases, just like you would find a painted picture. Oh, my little studio mate just walked in, so if you hear some pitter patter, she is here. Maybe I'll pick her up so you can see her. Want to come up, sweetheart? Say hi to the people. This is Callie. Today is our halfway date. She's 14 months old and I've had her for 7, so that's just perfect. During the time that I was moving through different textile things, I did stop and study creative clothing for a while. I studied with Marcy Tilton and with Diane Erickson in particular, and I enjoyed that, but I found that the types of garments I wore were different than the kinds of creative techniques I enjoyed making. I'll just put her down. And that kind of led me, in a different direction. What I'm wearing is my typical uniform of the last far too long, of a black t-shirt, jeans, some sort of statement necklace, and a cardigan. I don't know how this is going to go until she's trained, but let's give it a shot. With Frumpville showing up, it was time to finally get to the clothes that I've been talking about. All talk and no action. They've been on my vision board forever, top left, and I've been wanting to, but life just gets in the way. And then it dawned on me the other day that I am finally in a spot very similar to my early 20s, with a 40-year difference in there, where I actually have the time and the space and the ability to focus on clothes. I am a semi-retired artist now. I have switched from textile art to basketry, and I am doing that in a different space. So this studio space is entirely about clothing right now, and that is such a gift. I forgot what I was going to say. Dog is distracting me. So here I am. I've got the time, I've got the fabric, I've got the patterns, I'm ready to sew. And I am excited about sharing it with you. I've had a YouTube channel once before, and I deleted it in its entirety because that's how I am. And life was going in a different direction, and it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, which is all around business. This time it is all around holding me accountable, helping me be motivated, and allowing me to share. I've been sewing for over 50 years, and I know a little bit, if only a little bit of encouragement. And so that's the main goal of the channel, to connect with other creative people, to actually do what I said I wanted to do, to make some clothes, to use up my fabric stash, use up my pattern stash, and just really enjoy the gift of this time and sharing it with others. So now I'm going to go check this video, and then I'm going to show you what I'm sewing next. She's settled down. Before I carry on to show you what I'm making next, this is another version of that top with elbow length sleeves and cuffs that I made in March for the baby shower of my granddaughter. And I was actually wearing this shirt the day she was born, which was kind of cool. And lovely fabric, again, cut on the bias. Last week when my friend was here, I pre-cut some simple garments to allow myself to just focus in on the sewing and on my return to garment sewing, and hopefully my return to my addiction to garment sewing. And I had a wonderful time. I finished a pair of pants that I will show you at some point soon, and I sewed a cardigan, the pink blouse, and a skirt. The cardigan was okay, the blouse is great, and the skirt was horrible. It was Butterick 6249, an A-line skirt. I said earlier I'm an inverted triangle. No, I'm a triangle, heavy on the bottom. And I don't know why A-line skirts are recommended for my body shape. Maybe there are other people with my body shape who feel good in it. I feel like we start big and we just keep getting bigger. But every once in a while, I somehow have to try it again to get out of my box. And all I do is figure out that I'm in my box for a reason. I'm in there because that's the box that I have figured out looks the best on me. The last time I tried to get out of my box, I made this skirt with these really fun pockets. And then when I hated the A-line, I went to the bottom and sewed these tucks in and added a band around the bottom. This is so cute. I wear it a lot. This time, my plan is to turn it into a bubble skirt. The garment has a yoke where I can do the fitting for the waist, and then I can cut out of lining and out of the finished fabric. Oh, let me first show you the really ugly skirt, because it's entirely finished. Wide and wider. My plan is to take this apart, take off the elastic, take off the yoke, cut off the hem, resew it by adding another layer underneath of a lining that is about an inch shorter, and sewing the two of those into a band at the bottom that I will put 2-inch elastic into. The yoke, there were 4 of them and I only used 2, so I will reuse that yoke and shape it a little higher up because I thought this got a bit too short. So that's my plan for the next week. I tend to sew one garment at a time, I do not plan ahead because I don't like being told what to do, not even by myself. So I just, I wouldn't say whim driven, but I go with what tickles the most. Right now, I just was wondering if these two would look cute together. Oh, they do. Something to style. I am hoping to make outfits, not orphans, which was a term that was used in blogging world way back when I blogged every day. I need clothes. I really do. People say they need clothes, but I have less than 40 garments entirely in my closet, and a quarter of them are black t-shirts. And I am not in the mood to make another black t-shirt. So I will sew and see you next video with a bubble skirt. Thanks for being here.